I'm going to focus on being prepped and helping you prep for the NFP. It's going to be an important number to back up what's happened in the dollar so far. So let me just get this going here. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the dollar first, talk about euro. So, who knows what the number's going to be? The number could be come in weak and you'll have continuation moves in euro to the upside, cable to the upside. So, we already have that covered. And I just want to review that even now that the Dixie is trying to bounce back on Monday's show, while we were talking live, dollar was still trading up here at 109. And that's why I said, well, I'm not going to buy Aussie. I have enough. I was long cable and short the dollar index. Uh, and I should have when you're right, you never you never have enough on. And when you're wrong, it always feels like you had too much on. Anyway, I'm pretty convinced this is the bottom in Aussie too. So let's just look at if there is a stronger number and yields pop a little bit. You're going to want to buy a pullback, I think, right around this 103 level, wrong under the low of the move for uh, this higher low, actually, higher low. So look at this as being an opportunity because I think this is wave three beginning. This was one, this was two, and now we're into three. So a pullback would just be two of three, with the three of three beginning. Okay, so you want to get on board. Where to buy cable? It's now showing some relative weakness because of the BOE, but this 23 and a half level, I still think is going to hold wrong under 2.5. And that was the one we bought. I bought and recommended it. We were trading about 23 live Monday. So that was a pretty big trade for about 250. If you can't make money after this kind of move in 3 days, I don't know how to help you. Remember the three P's. We probed, we took partials, we protected the remainder. Okay. So that would be a level I'd consider buying cable. Right now, the way Euro Pound is acting, again, it keeps flip flopping. I'm not sure if we're going to have a continuation of trade of this trend. This would favor euro over cable, and if this starts is just a little pop before we head lower, it's going to favor being long cable, short euro. So to me, it's an I don't know at this point of time what to do here. Maybe a little higher. I would try it a short up there. And let's address the yen. The yen we caught from the tops over 58 and a half and covered in here. I thought we were going to get a rally back towards 57 that was here, and instead on the big down day that we had Monday, the yen and then yesterday cracked this descending triangle. So to me, classically, I would sell rallies back towards the breakdown at 53 because this measures 48. Plus, his 52 level is very significant. We played a lot of action took place around 52 pre-intervention um, with the end. So we had this 52, 52 all the way through. So watch this area. Any bounces back towards 54 should be sold. If it cracks, I don't know how to tell you how to get on it if you didn't sell the breakdown. I want to make a point here too. You know, I didn't have to be long cable and the dollar. Okay. It really only takes one. I don't have to be right across the whole board of every asset class. So you go with your higher conviction trades. And Monday night, the dollar and cable were my high conviction trades. So you don't have to be right about what's happening in gold or what's happening in oil. Um, you focus, you may watch 20, 30 markets, but I really do recommend that you only trade two or three. Okay, so you get to know those markets. You have a feel for and remember important zones, and you're focused. You're not spreading your focus out to a million different things. Some people can do that. The majority of people really can't. So that's a coaching tip today: is you can watch a lot but trade a few. So let's move on to what's happening in gold. You know, I attempted a gold short this week and it extended further than I wanted it to. Well, yeah, it stopped me out. Uh, you know, there's still no technical reason yet for a top except that, you know, who's short? Everyone's bullish. But the silver still looks weaker to me. Yeah, can it make a move back towards 33 if the dollar's weak and we have a weak jobs number and yields drop again? Sure. I'm still thinking that we're going to trade under 28, maybe even lower, maybe back to the breakout at 26. So I'm not a silver bull right here. Um, you know, looking at what gold did, took out its October highs. This still could be a retracement. So I know there's a lot of bullish fundamental stuff coming out about silver. In fact, I had Don Dawson on who says that silver is bullish until April. Maybe. Well, we'll see what happens here with silver. The gold silver ratio is, to me, it looks like it's trying to top, but, tomorrow you could throw your charts away for 5-10 minutes. So you're going to have some very volatile action. We're going to react to the reaction, so you really don't know how the market's going to react to what kind of number, but you can react to it by being ready with your important areas to trade with. So I actually think that even when it comes to gold shares here, we've come a long way in GDX. And GDX, when I was on, let's see, both with Maggie and then when Steve Marcantonio was with us, we talked about the GDX. Had one hell of a run. It was down here off this weekly triangle breakout. We're about 78.6 back here. I could see gold shares pulling back again. Maybe not back towards 32 like I thought here, that we could still get a pullback, but some type of pullback I think is coming. I like the confluence around 36 or so for a pullback. GDX has had a much more powerful rally than Newmont. I mean, Newmont is probably not even halfway back. Let's call it 36 and a half, call it $22. Okay, so 47's halfway back. So, I'm really not impressed with what Newmont did. GDX looking better. Some of the little ones are trying to come out of the hole, but I can't really rule out one more flush in the silver stock. So this one was a strength, but we're just right back at resistance. So maybe we get a break in silver. You buy pullbacks here. Um, this, doesn't impress me yet either. I know we're above some moving averages, but pretty meager bounce compared to what silver did here over the last week. So I still think there'll be better entries in the minors coming down the road. Um, I may have missed the bond bottom. It's an I don't know for me, so I'm not doing anything. And really, my trade of the week was coming in Sunday night with S&Ps down sharply, challenging the dollar challenging what I thought was going to be a significant high. So I had to face my doubts and my fear about it and say, instead of saying, oh, wow, what an opening. I might just get blown out of my bearish dollar positions. Instead, I looked at it because I came in not heavily short the dollar, as I told everyone else. But when I was up here, I said, well, you know what? Maybe we're just going to go for some stops or put in a failing rally, and took advantage of my thesis because it was going to be right or wrong from these levels. If we had blown over, uh, 110, I had stops above 50 points above 110 when I entered this order at 109.10 or so. So still a big play here, and we tomorrow's really going to decide it. But you look at the weekly on the dollar, and it's 2 weeks of follow through, right? Okay, so 105 looks like a viable target. I'm looking for this. So let's stay on course as long as we're not taking out this week's high now, that we have something developing here that's going to give us a big break over the next several months. Stay bearish the dollar. And with that being said, if we get a rally to new all-time highs in the S&Ps, which isn't necessarily going to happen, this too is going to be decided by the NFP. Here's the look. If we get through this line in the S&P 6109, you could tack on this about a 200-point range. I'll give you 6,300, and it's kind of do or die for NASDAQ too. It's more of a triangle. See that? And if we break out of this triangle, we're talking about this is a pretty big triangle, um, 26. So 1,400 over this is going to give you 23,100 on NASDAQ. Believe that the Dow is only a stone's throw away from new highs here. We'll see if we get a double top. And here's the Russell. Maybe today's the day. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow and not have FOMO, and trust that when the trade is there, that I have enough experience to recognize it. So don't get too analytical about everything, but get prepared for any instrument you're going to trade tomorrow, and paint both scenarios: a weaker number with lower yields, a stronger number with higher yields, and where are your buy and sell zones, and get ready to execute. So everyone, I'll see you in the room. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. This is my new time here. I'm going to be here every morning at 6:30, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Wednesday will be a day where I have a guest and do an interview to bring in outside people to educate you and make you better traders. So with that being said, don't just count your pips, count your blessings, everyone. Keep your powder dry, and I'll be back with you tomorrow after the NFP, see how things are playing